Oh, yeah. All right. Well, welcome to another Tigers Minor League Report interview series. We're super excited to have one of the top prospects in all of baseball. You know him. You see him all over online. It's Max Clark. Max, thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Yeah, of course. Appreciate you guys having me on. Be good to catch up and look forward to 26.
Yeah, absolutely. So the standard question we always ask our guests is their earliest baseball memory. Yours is very recent, but let's hear about it.
I would have to go. So I was given this question beforehand, and it sent me through so many years of memories. And I think the best, because it's also the best story, is so a little backstory. When I grew up, I played for a travel team from the time I was 6 until I was 13. So that was like my first entrance into like somewhat competitive non-little league baseball. So at this facility, my best friend at the time, his dad actually owned it. And so he built a youth baseball field in his backyard. He had a bunch of land, and so there's no fence. There is an airplane, little like craft airplane in left center. And this is all like 150-foot fences. Like it's a wiffle ball field at this point.
Nice.
And so I can remember just the horror of the pole that was 400 miles away from that field. And every time we booted a ground ball, swung and missed, booted any fly ball, it was go touch the pole. And so we all talk about like defense now. And I really think that I can credit the entirety of my defensive success to being horrified of running to that pole. Because, dude, I'm telling you, it looked like a speckle out there.
Yeah.
And it was miserable. It's uphill, downhill on the way back. And we were 6 to 10 years old. So that is like one of the best stories about, if you ask any of those kids who played on those teams from like the time we were 6 to 10, every single person knows about the pole, because we were going to be the most fundamentally sound 6U baseball team ever.
I said, were you playing outfield back then too?
I was playing shortstop, as crazy
Okay.
as that sounds.
Yeah.
I swore I was going to be the first left-handed shortstop ever. To this day, I still think
Still
I could.
time.
I mean,
Yeah.
I love, yeah, exactly. I make my case every single day. I take ground balls with the infielders. I take ground balls in the offseason. Like I'm working for it. But unfortunately, God had other plans and put the glove on my right hand. So I will be standing in the outfield for the eternity of my career.
Yeah, that sounds interesting. It's almost like a Field of Dreams setup. Just picturing playing baseball out in a field. Yeah.
Exactly right. And then there was a cornfield, of course, Indiana, middle of nowhere. They surrounded us. So when it was harvest season, it looked pretty cool. Like that field's actually still there. So it's still used with some of the youth teams that that my guy owns.
Very cool. Yeah. And that's really cool. And and now you're looking at Indiana University, number 2 in the country in football, which is to me it's mind blowing, because I've never seen Indiana football being the way it probably is. But as far as the baseball scene goes, even as a Big Ten program, but as a state, I always think of like Don Manley as an example. But there's so many players. There's such a history there that really is not really often talked about.
No, 100%. People actually really do undervalue not just like Indiana, but the Midwest baseball. Like I know for a fact, like from my class the year before me, and even now, I mean, when I was a senior, we had 16 Power 4 commits in the state of Indiana. This year, there's 55.
Nice.
Wow. So like the talent pool is rising. And then, like you said, from the great standpoint, I mean, Lance Lynn, Tucker Barnhart, like all these guys also went to the same high school. They went to Brownsburg and dominated. They won like 2 or 3 straight state championships. And then they actually live on one of the best golf courses in Indiana now. So it's a good gig for all those Indiana guys. Like they all stay home. And like there's a different culture now just about how connected like Indiana is with baseball. It was always the basketball state. Like it's what it is. Everybody's seen the movie Hoosier. Like it's incredible. It's in my blood for sure. But like it's a different state for baseball now, and there's a bunch of good players. Like we're gonna have guys get drafted this year. We had guys get drafted last year, like Bishop Letson. He's with Milwaukee AA now, and he was a quote unquote like underrated no name prospect. But I promise you, I knew for a fact he was disgusting, because he was at every event. Little small town Indiana, and it's just 94 to 97 from 50 feet because he's got a billion feet of extension. So he's disgusting. Josh Flores is in. I think he's also a Brewer now. Josh Adamczewski. Like I played with all those guys growing up. They're really good players.
All Brewers.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Greg
I mean,
Yoho, another Brewer
oh, there
from
you go.
Indiana.
Yeah. No, we kind of talk about it in not just Indiana, but like we've seen a lot of good prep players come out of Wisconsin over the last
Yeah.
decade or so. And
Kalanick, like
yeah.
it's the list goes on. I mean, it is a very good state. That is for sure.
And then, yeah, I mean, we're in Michigan. We see the guys coming from here in Ohio. You got Dingler out of Ohio.
Yep.
But no, Midwest baseball, it's still good up here. Just because you can't play 12 months a year outside, at least.
Yeah. I mean, our first game is 12 degrees and there's 4 people in the stands, but it's a blast. That's for sure.
So you mentioned AA, and now that you get a taste of it, what was the biggest adjustment you had to make? Was it the timing, game planning, or something pitchers did differently at the level? Because I know in AA there's less of a rigid schedule, and I think we talked about this when we saw in Erie that West Michigan and Lakeland there was there was a schedule to follow. But when you got to AA, you realized I don't have to be there at a certain time. How much of an adjustment was that for you?
Yeah, I think everybody says always it's the biggest jump. It's where you find out who you really are as a player. And it's all true. I mean, when you look at it from just a day to day, you're 100% right. There's way less, I guess, schedule, way more pro. You got to do your things. You got to be there on time. Obviously, we have set cage times and we still have our player plans and all that good stuff. But, you're showing up and you want to be lazy that day. No one's going to tell you to go do it. You have to really be yourself each and every day and go into a new day, grinding, ready to go. And that's nice. It's nice to kind of have the training wheels taken off and start playing really high competitive level baseball. I think the biggest difference really is just the pace of play. Because that ranges all the way from pitching to hitting to defense. I mean, especially on the defensive side, guys taking extra bases, internal clocks, stealing bases. It's such a different level of baseball, the game. And it only gets better. AAA is better. The big leagues are obviously a whole nother stratosphere. It is a huge jump from high A to AA. But it actually brings out the best in you, in my opinion. I thought it was hard to hit at times in high A because it's ball 1 at your face, ball 2 in the dirt, right down the middle, throwing a 3-0 slider for no reason when it's a 2% pitch. Not because they can land it, because they were screw it. I can't throw the heater for a strike, so might as well try a slider, right? So there are differences in that aspect. But at the same time, it was more comfortable. That's the level you want to be at. I felt very grounded. The pitching is 100% better. I don't care what anyone says. It is a substantial jump. Because guys just execute. Guys actually do their homework too. I could tell nobody had a scouting report on me the first 3 weeks, hammered the ball, went through a miniature adjustment phase, and I picked it up because I was doing homework. And then it's you just see it all continue to level up. They could tell that I figured out the first scouting report very quickly, and then they adjusted to something completely off the rails. I don't even know what they were throwing at me. I couldn't figure out the sequencing. And you can just tell guys are doing their research. They want to bury you. But again, it's a lot more comfortable to hit, to be in the box when you get to be aggressive, because guys are going to be way more around the zone. Obviously the high leverage relievers, they can spray it a little bit, but you also want to be aggressive because they throw 102 with a 98-mile-an-hour splitter. So you want to be able to go and get the heater early. You want to be able to get the hanging slider in the zone, whatever it is. So, and that's coming from me, I'm overly passive is a bad word, but I'm overly passive. So it's I had to increase my aggressiveness, but maintain that selective aggressiveness.
Yeah, it was interesting. I was thinking the pitching you saw in AA is better. Then I remember opening day in West Michigan, you get Chase Burns. And I was oh, that wasn't terribly easy. That was
I mean, my fingers are completely numb, and it's the first live AB I've seen in probably a week, and it's 100 top rail, death ball slider, and then some disgusting breaking ball that I didn't even know existed before that. And then I'm all right, well, I guess we're not starting off the season with a hit. And then that's what I'm talking about though. Chase Burns throws 101. My next at bat, I get to a 3-0 count. He throws me a slider. Dude, I couldn't hit your fastball at this point in the year if you threw it to me 100 times. It is freezing cold. I can't feel my fingers, and the bat feels like it weighs 1.5 pounds. So, I mean, it's fun. It's fun to do those little mental competitions and just understand the game. But I will say it was easier in AA. even though the play was substantially better.
Well, and so it's interesting because I felt, and I got myself into a little bit of trouble with the online people when I was a little critical of you, especially in our Discord, saying like I thought you were a little passive and it looked like you were just trying to poke singles the other way. And but I felt like right around June, July, you really started pulling the ball in the air, and that's like right around when you got up to Erie. And it seemed like it continued. There's a lot of more extra base power, and I don't know if you feel like that was the path of your season, or if I was just kind of, fixating on it myself.
I think, I mean, no hate. I think it's a little bit of both.
Yeah.
Like the way I was getting pitched in high was substantially different than the way I was getting pitched in double A. And like that's something that we talked about internally too. Like I was hitting like 330, but my slug was only, like 450,
Yeah.
which is a fine slug number, but it goes drastically down if you're hitting 270, right? So I wasn't, and like I think I had like a 38% opposite field ratio or something like that. It was
Yeah.
just the highest it's been in my career. But then we went and looked at like True Media, and over like 65% of the pitches were being thrown on the outer half of the plate and actually in the outer third. So even though it's like for me and what I struggled with and what I had to make the adjustment were yes, they're strikes, and yes, I can take the single, but if it's an edge pitch, like let's find a better pitch to do damage on. And that's kind of like when I went in a slump in the middle of May. It was like I kind of gave away the opportunity to like take a single or swing in an edge pitch and pray that it gets through, and started focusing more on like attacking damage zones because we have internal metrics that tell us where we do the most damage, obviously. So like I started swinging at certain pitches more to allow my body to allow me to lift it in the pull side. Because I mean, you could swing at a changeup that's away 10 times out of 10, and you're going to have a really hard time pulling it to right field in the air, right? It's going away from you. There's action down, and it's not a pitch you want to pull anyways. So it's like, for me, like I can remember the South Bend series. It was like, they were just throwing backdoor cutters that's their thing. They love the backdoor slider, the backdoor cutter, backdoor sweeper. And I literally just hit like 5 or 6 through the 6 hole and just took the single. And it's like the average is great, and you can still impact the game that way, but like let's also work on damaging the baseball. And that's where like the development part of the minor leagues come in. Like everybody wants to hit 330. Everybody wants to hit 25 homers. Everybody wants to do they want their like baseline stats to look really good. And that's important obviously, but there's a bigger picture in that, and that is understanding the way your body moves, understanding what's going to play in the big leagues, because those dudes throw 99 on the outer black and the shortstops can cover the 6 hole. Like you can't, like that doesn't work every time. So we had to take that like constraint, put it on, and then open up a new window to allow us to start pulling the ball in the air, drive a ball in the gap, whatever it may be. Because then that also opens up, and like this goes into like what I'm working on now. It's like make that what it is. Like never give away the ability to take the single the other way, because there's going to be a time where you need to do that. But there's also times where when you get the hanging slider, you get the heater early that's in the heart of the zone, like go for it. Like who cares if you fly out? Like
right.
Go make an attempt to damage the baseball. And that's where I kind of saw the shift. Like when I got to double A, especially like pre-wrist injury, like that's probably the hottest stint I've had in pro ball. Except for like that week against the Dodgers. But I can vividly remember like my week against Akron in double A was probably the best week of professional baseball I've ever had. Rookie ball to double A. And I just remember like being ultra aggressive, didn't matter what pitch was thrown, just trying to like leverage the baseball. And that actually all started because of the way that my hips were working. That's the biggest change that I've made to allow me to actually lift the ball in the air. Everybody always like talks about the question of power and is the power going to play? And this is like the first year where it's like, oh, it is there. We have to figure out how to mechanically get there. I hit the ball 112 miles an hour this year. That's what I got to. So like on the scale, that's like 55, 60 raw.
Yeah.
So then you have to figure out how do you do that, but at the right angles, because 112 in the ground doesn't do anything, and neither does 86 straight up. So it just took like trial and error of understanding how to really control the forward move. And that's actually what is allowed for more space, more turn, more balls in the air. Because the minute I got to double A, the batted ball profile went up. Way less ground balls, more fly balls, more line drives. And I actually erred on the side of like too many fly balls, which for me, I will take that 10 times out of 10 because I struggled
yeah.
with getting the ball off the ground. Like, so now we have to like backtrack a little bit and just make it work.
It's the constant adjustments. And no, I mean, that was a great answer. It's really valuable to hear the insight of an actual player because we watch as many of these games as we can, and I try to notice trends and try to tell people what's going on, but I'm not living it. I'm not experiencing it. It's as much as I'd like to think that I can see what's going on, I'm not noticing that you're getting 80% pitches on the outside black. Part of that's also the minor league angles.
Or
that's
like,
partially the issue with like the minor leagues. That's why it's hard to understand. Like, there's no access for you guys to True Media, to whatever it may be. Like, we don't even have that access. We have to like ask for it. It's hard. So trying to like understand that, just for me as a player, like, it's not always about the gray line stats. Like, everyone always says like it always evens out. It never evens out because no one hits 500. So like, how can we get to the best? Like, how can we get to the best like gray line numbers, but also the underlying metrics actually tell a better story? As much as people are probably going to hate that, like in the minor leagues, no, you could hit 500 in the minor leagues and no one would care if you hit 0 in the big leagues. So how can we get to the highest possible, EV 90th contact rate, swing and miss rate, chase, whiff, like all of the stuff that translates, and how can we transfer that into the numbers part of the game? And that was my game, that was my like thought process the whole year. It was like, the numbers will eventually work out. They're never going to even out, but they will work out. And it's like at the end of the year, like 270, 840 OPS. I think I 150 WRC plus.
It's the ISO. To me, the ISO numbers in AA is what I always feel that's a good indication of things to come. And your ISO, that was the highest ISO you've had throughout your professional career. And noticing that was, to me, that's an eye opener to me, because we noticed that with any player that has come through, when you start seeing the ISO creep up towards 200 in AA, that's a good, to me at least, that's a good indication of things to come.
Yeah, and I agree. Like, I think ISO is a good number. Like, I think it actually it tells a true picture. Like, it tells a true story. Like, if I can be in the 200s, then that opens up a whole nother realm of game. And that's like the other thing is, you start adding in more doubles, more triples, and then obviously I had more homers this year. It's like it's starting to creep, and now we just have to find ways to like replicate it. Because it was like, if I took my AA season and just played it the whole year, like that would have been awesome. Like, I took, obviously my high numbers were good, but they were inflated because I drew like 70 walks, and like, that's great, but you can't walk your way to the big leagues. So we take out like, I think I played 43 games in AA, hit 7 homers, played 60 something in high, hit 7 homers. So it's like, even that for me is like, that's cool. Like, it was substantially less games, and the power stayed the same against better pitching too. And it was like, I didn't really like get the Erie effect either. Like, I think I only hit like 1 homer at Erie.
We were there for that, I think.
Yeah.
It was first game as a Moon Mammoth, I believe.
Yeah. First home game.
First home game. That's right. Yeah.
LMCU. That place was sick. That was fun though. Like, but that is the thing that like I kind of think about myself, is like, how can we make it to where the numbers that aren't seen on the top shelf like stay the same per level, because that just shows that you're not getting like dominated. Like, even if the numbers of the like gray numbers are bad, if your underlying numbers are good, it at least shows that you're either having a swing issue, getting unlucky. Like, it tells a more true story.
And it's funny. We basically, whenever we post a highlight, the first comment is always call them up. Doesn't matter what level. Could be in the big leagues. They're going to call you up to whatever is higher.
Yeah.
It is always one, like, because you guys have put up these great stats, and people are like, "What's taking so long?" And it's like, I assume there's underlying stuff they want you to work on. I don't know if they communicate that with you, but there's always more to it, right? Like, it's not just because Justice Bigby hit like 370 in AA a couple of years ago. And we're like, oh, here it goes. And then you got to AAA, and he couldn't replicate that, and he's back in AA. So there's more to it than just the raw numbers.
Yeah, 100%. There's so many stats out there that, like, even me, I grew up with it, and I still don't even understand it all. Like, they could tell you like my chin angle at half a jump from center field. Like, I don't even know, dude. It's insane. So, because the hardest battle is like understanding what you need to, but also not letting it come to consume you. And especially like when I first got there, I wanted every metric ever, because I didn't have any of those in high school, especially not in Indiana. Like, we had one singular pro stalker gun. Like that's it. So it was nice to at least have substance, and then actually, 2 years later, like you understand what it all means and you can actually apply it.
Yeah, I think if anybody's bothering you about the shit angle, just tell them to go away. I mean, I guess unless it's Lombard or whatever, but no, it does crack me up just thinking about, because I could picture even 10 years ago, coaches acting like the coach from Major League, and we're like, Clark, I want you hitting the ball on the ground and running, use those legs.
Yeah, exactly.
But you didn't run a ton this year. I mean, you still stole 19 bases or whatever. Is that partially because you got McGonigal and Briseño and those guys hitting behind you? Is it like an org thing, or is it just something you not really focused on?
Honestly, it was a little bit of, so the first 6 weeks, I didn't have my legs under me. I actually had a miserable case of shin splints, as crazy as that sounds. So it was actually tough. Like the first 6 weeks, I think I attempted 2 bases. And then that was like when everyone just started raking. And it was like I would get a read on a pitcher, and then the second pitch Kevin hit a homer. It's like, all right, well, this is like, I mean, what do you do?
The Dayton series?
Yeah.
You guys scored like 75 runs or something like that.
Yeah, we
scored more than that.
We played 3 of the 5 together. So me, Breesy, and Kevin were in the lineup back to back to back 3 times. Every single game started 3-0 because Briseño hit a home run every single first at bat of those 3 games. That was the most absurd performance I have ever seen in my entire life out of a player, especially the grand slam that put us ahead, that literally you couldn't even see it. He hit it so hard, and it was about right here on his head. Just pure tomahawk. Our hitting coach, Matt Malott, literally goes, "Hey, Briseño, they're going to throw you a fastball." And he goes, "Okay." And first pitch, like, just destroys it. And, like, it was one of those things where, like, I don't even know. It was an out-of-body experience for all of us because we were all just like, he's going to hit a homer. And then he did. Like, we just knew it was happening. So, especially, I couldn't imagine walking Kevin and being like, that was a good idea. Like, I love their manager. But, like, you just have to pitch to both of them. You can't walk one, load him up, and let Briseño hit. And you can't let Kevin hit. And you have to do something, because they also, like, they didn't just walk him, they let Kevin hit, but they didn't even come close to the zone. Yeah. So then a heater's coming the first pitch next at bat, and it's gonna be close because he's throwing 4 straight. And it looked like a dude hitting off a tee. I mean, it couldn't have been better. It was incredible.
No, I remember too. The Dayton announcer that was the most complimentary he's ever been about West Michigan. And he was like, the Tiger system has been, and he basically said politely, the Tiger system has been trashed for a long time. Yeah. And it was like, I think it was the Sunday or Saturday game or whatever it was, but I remember him it was like a 5-minute, we clipped it because we were just like, it was like astonishing.
I remember seeing the clip. Yeah. It was awesome.
Yeah. He said they kept drafting guys from the ACC and SEC who could not play. I was like, oh, geez. It's kind of rough, but it's true.
Yeah. Good Lord.
But no, that's another interesting thing. It's stuff like we can't know this. We don't know this. The org will never tell this to fans or whatever, but how injured you guys are throughout the course of the season. And I remember when we met you guys in Erie, both you and Kevin looked like you'd been swimming with alligators. Your legs were absolutely chewed up. I'm like, yeah, you just never see this. But yeah, how often are you like 100% healthy during the season?
First game of the year. That's about it. I mean, like, literally, the fatigue doesn't set in, especially now that I've had a year under my belt. The fatigue didn't really start hitting me until July. And I got really lucky because, like, both years I've gone first, 3 months, July hits, I go to the Futures games, get a huge second win. It's just pure adrenaline. Like, it's really exciting. Then I got called up like the week later, another spurt of adrenaline. So for me, like, this year, it was awesome because I was starting to die at the end of that Dodgers series. Because it was just like we played the same teams like 7 times. We played Lake County 14 times in the first half. You know what I mean? And it's just like mentally, it's so mentally draining, even if it's not your fatigue like bodily yet. So I'm like, get me out of here. Luckily, I do end up getting called up. We are all so ecstatic, like, especially with me, Kevin, and Breesy all going at the same time. That was unbelievable. Really cool moment, lots of adrenaline. And then I had like a pretty good first series in AA, which was exciting. And then immediately to the Futures games, came back, and then the playoffs too. So the playoffs added like another third spurt because my August was miserable. Obviously, the wrist like was not fun to deal with. And then like I got through it, but at that point I was dragging because I had been like on meds, like trying to get healthy, and then you finally get healthy, and then playoffs hit, and it's like the biggest, like no, because nobody cares anymore. Like once playoffs hit, it's like all I want to do is win. That's all that matters. There's no mental fatigue. There's no bodily because it's all adrenaline, and then you just go out there and play. You play free. Both series were fun. Altoona and Binghamton packed it out. Like it was, and then obviously Erie, but like that was a given. But like it was so nice. This year I definitely felt at least competitive through the whole year. Like when we got to September last year, I literally felt like I was swinging a table. Like it was just so hard.
And I think that's one thing that also kind of goes under sort of appreciated is being able to stay healthy. Like I know you had the wrist briefly where I thought, what happened. I'm like, oh shit, that's a hamate.
Me too, brother. Me too.
And then I swear last year there was something, I don't know if it was ankle or something in Lakeland. I'm like, oh no, that's bad. And you came out of the game and then you were back like the next day. I'm like, oh wow.
Yeah, I've gotten lucky, man. Like I do put a lot of time into the body. Like I'm on every single like dietary supplement you can take to increase recovery. I track it all. I'm a big like I use a Python band, which is very similar to like a Whoop, but it tracks everything. Like eat clean, sleep, all above. And so I just take pride in it. I also think like from a strength foundation, I've built so much longevity just from playing football. Because the weight room, it taught me so much different like ways to move than I would have learned just doing what I was doing in high school. And then once we got to the Tigers, that profile has been unbelievable. That movement profile is completely incredible. It's made me way more mobile, way more comfortable. But yeah, I mean, the one in Lakeland last year, I guess I just like slid wrong. My hip like felt like it exploded, but nothing happened at all. I think I just like popped my hip, and it was probably something I needed for like 5 years, and it finally went. And then I was fine. Like I walked out the field and I was like, dude, I feel fine. So that was huge. And then the wrist was just like a nerve misfire or something because nothing even came over it. Just got some like Advil and a couple days of rest, and I was like fine. I like it was a little like painful, I guess, during the end of the season, just because I had pissed it off. But after that, like by end of August, like I forget who we played at the end there, like that Altoona series, I was feeling fine. The last regular season series, I felt pretty good. So, but yeah, or Portland, that was the first week I felt like 100% again. So
as far as like, you talked about playing football, is it too, I feel like sometimes growing up, like all of us, Chris and I both played multiple sports at the same time. And I feel now, like, for example, I have my nephew and my niece who are both playing travel baseball, travel softball, and my brother's got them into other sports. Do you think that is, I think to me, something that's not stressed upon, that I think that kids seem like they're getting in that one track way too early. But like some of the best athletes I've ever seen, for example, the best guy on my basketball team was a guy who played professional hockey. So how important, you talk about the importance of football. Do you think that that's lost upon, that kids are getting specialized way too early?
I 100% do. I'm a huge advocate for multi-sports. I played baseball, basketball, and football my entire life. The only one I didn't play through high school was basketball. Didn't play my senior year. And I completely stand on the fact that you should be playing multiple sports. I think like 10-year-olds who are playing baseball year long is like ridiculous. Like go play football with your friends, go play soccer with your friends, whatever you want. Like you look at like Jacob Lombard right now, one of the best players in the 26 class.
Yeah.
Freak athlete, probably the best athlete in that class. And he plays baseball and then he plays soccer. And it's like, it's just so different. You're training so many different muscles by playing different sports. There are things that I would have never done had I not played football. Agility cuts, like 10-yard flies, all this stuff in short bursts that have translated. I mean, I played receiver, so tracking a fly ball in center field, the exact same thing as tracking a football. Run to the spot and catch the damn thing. I mean, breaks, cuts, routes, all of this has helped, at least for me, tremendously on the defensive side. And then also all the conditioning that comes with those. Like, I've never been in better shape than when I was playing all three. I mean, especially when I was playing basketball, like I was completely toned, completely shredded. Like I still wish I kind of did like just play that too. Like I wish I was still running around and doing all of that. And it just helped so much for me. I loved it. I just don't think that like I don't think you're really losing that much by playing another sport. Now I get it. If basketball season bleeds into baseball and baseball bleeds into football, like in Texas, I get that. Like whatever. Like it's tough. But if you can play baseball and run track, if you can play baseball and play football, like I know you can't play 3 at those massive prep schools, but being able to do something else, play pickup basketball. I played pickup basketball my entire high school career. We'd go to some rec center, like move around, run, jump, all this stuff that just trains fast twitch muscle fibers. Like it is so important, at least for me, because I'll still do things like a lot of my sprint work now, and like agility work is very similar to the stuff I was doing in football. And this is how professional baseball athletes are training. So it all blends together when it comes to like strength and conditioning. So having as many different muscle groups activated, strengthened, elongated is so important.
And yeah, it goes for all the sports. I saw a clip of Nick Saban talking about how he used to go after track athletes to play corner or defensive back, and then they could never catch the ball.
Yeah.
So he went to baseball players. He's like,
Yeah.
It's like you said, it's like tracking a ball, tracking a football, same as tracking a baseball.
Yep.
Now along the lines of that training, you've been posting a lot of videos of you doing, swings, and I think you're working on bat speed.
Yeah.
I know you're working on about a lot of things, but I saw one comment about that.
Yeah, I do. So I've been following a program that one of my my current hitting coach from Franklin, he actually has a buddy who is the head coach at Hanover College, and they created like a little miniature like bat speed program using the driveline bats. And then we amplified it, and it's been incredible. I did it last season, last offseason. It really helps not just like build bat speed, but it helps speed up the body and help it sink. Like a lot of things that people like don't understand about bat speed is it doesn't just mean like how fast you can move the bat, but the rest of your body has to move fast too. It all is all based off of kinematic sequencing, which is the way in which your knee, torso, hip, arm, it all syncs up and delivers at the same time. And so swinging, it's a 37-37, a 36-36 with the barrel load, a 36-36 with the hand load, and then a drop 10, like little baby T-ball bat. And so it's all about different sinking, different weights, turning them as fast as possible, but also like maintaining your normal swing. Like I don't really change my swing when I do bat speed. Like I'm taking the same swing. It might get a little dramatic at time, a little forward, but it's forcing you to turn, because if you don't, like especially with the green bat, the green is the one that's barrel loaded. If you don't turn that, it just falls out of your hands. It's so heavy. Same thing with the 37-inch, 37-ounce. If you don't stay tight with that, like you're gonna hit it off the handle and it's gonna hurt really bad.
Yeah.
So like it's just little things like that force synchronization, that force fast movements, and just help build it. I mean, overall, like my goal, I've always had like plus bat speed, but the goal is to just continue to raise the ceiling with it. I don't need to be the guy that's averaging 79. Like that's not my game. That would never will be. I make too much contact to have that level of bat speed. But like if we can get into, the averaging like 73 in game, 74 in game, and then like the bat speed 90th being at 79 miles an hour, getting to a 50% fast swing rate, like little things like that do make a difference and actually do matter. That is because this is a huge, you guys are going to get probably destroyed by like all the driveline people saying that hate driveline, saying how bat speed's stupid. So be ready for that. But like, it's not just about your top end bat speed. Like there's so many different things that go into it. And it genuinely, for me, it's not just about pure bat speed either. It's synchronizing the body. And swinging different weighted bats helps me do that.
Well, I think when people think about like increasing bat speed, they just think of you swinging harder or faster or whatever, and
Yeah.
not staying online or whatever. And to me, it's funny you say, if you don't stay tight with that 37, that you just go off the handle.
Yeah.
So you're kind of negatively training yourself or negative reinforcement. It's just the swinging equivalent of running and touching that pole at
Yeah,
the end of the
exactly
field.
right.
It's
100%. Yeah.
it's
So
funny.
it's
It all
like,
comes around.
yeah, the head guy at Driveline, his name is escaping my head. I think it's like Kyle Bodie
Kyle
or something
Bodie.
like that. Yeah, Bodie. Yeah.
Yeah.
And like he just put out a great tweet about how like the misinformation about bat speed is ridiculous. Like, especially after the Blue Jays hitting coach came out and was like emphasizing how they train bat speed, and every Twitter goon got a hold of it and was like, bat speed's stupid. It's like, no, it's not. It's incredible. And when people were in the 70s and 80s, they were also trying to swing the bat harder. Same thing with like exabilo and launch angle and all this shit. It's like, we just have terms for them now. You guys just said, let me hit it harder and farther. Like, it's the same idea. We're all just trying to create a better moving body to deliver a better and cleaner barrel. Like, we want to be as efficient as possible, as fast as possible, and create as much force. Just because we have tools that can measure that now does not mean it's a negative.
Yeah, or I mean, if you're a doctor and insulting people on batting swings and stuff like that, wink, that also doesn't help your cause either.
He's not a doctor. That guy's not a doctor.
Yeah. Anyway,
I don't know. He's got a bunch of letters in front of his name. So do I. No, go ahead, Reg. Sorry.
No, you're good, man.
That's incredible. That's incredible.
It is. It is wild seeing all the old players, and I appreciate the older players who are like, this stuff is interesting. I wish we had this when I was young. But there are a lot of them that are like, I was taught to swing down on the ball, and that's the way it should be. I'm like, well,
yeah, it's like
maybe not.
And when I talk to dudes who actually like were great, like I sat and talked with Ryan Klesko and Ken Griffey Jr. for 6 innings during the feature game. They use all the terms we do: ride, cut, sink, sweep. They know it, they understand it, and they've adapted to the fact that that's what's used now. Like, and those dudes are some of the greatest hitters of all time, some of like the greatest players of all time. And it's just, they understand, like, Jonah Tung was on the mound, and like I think Klesko said it looked like really steep. And he was like, and then literally King Griffey goes like, yeah, it's got a ton of ride. I was like, whoa, I did not expect that. Like, that was cool. So then we just started diving in, and it was like, we talked about like the numbers and like what they mean and what's average and how it relates to gravity, like how it relates to the barrel, what you have to do. And it's like, it's very easy to understand. It's just like the ability to not want to adapt, I guess. But it's just, you see people who actually like changed the game back in the day that were like just generational players that are willing to understand it and like think it's good. Like that's a good sign.
Yeah, like George Brett came and talked about, like, he was on a podcast last year about launch angle and how his bat always stayed through the plane. And he's basically saying what people are saying now and just putting it in modern terms.
100%.
Yeah. And so one of the last questions I want to ask you is in terms of, like, as you're talking about your offseason evolving as you continue to grow on, what is your before spring training routine look like? Does that look different now than it did last year as you get ready for spring training, as you kind of do more rest? How do you prepare for that, comparatively speaking, from high school to present day?
I think so. When I first got out of high school and I was my very first off season, it was like go. I think I peaked a little bit early. I think that's why I got tired at the end of the year. Like, I didn't understand the actual fatigue of playing 130 games. Come back after last year, took 3 weeks off probably of swinging, maybe a little more, but I took more time off, like understood what I needed to do. But I still had to start pretty early because I had changes to make, like substantial changes. And then fast forward to this year, it's like, this is the first year where I've gone into an off season and I didn't want to tinker. I didn't want to change anything. I didn't need to necessarily change anything. Like, there are little things that I've been given internally to like work on and cues and ideas and what might work. But like the biggest thing I've done is like add a toe tap. That's what I'm working on right now. I think it's going to be game changing for me, but it's like, that's it. And that doesn't change anything, how I hold my hands, how I move my body, how I do any of that. So it's made this offseason a little bit easier in terms of like, I can attack each day with this same goal. I don't have to keep changing each and everything. It's all about efficiency. Like if I could like name this offseason, it would be efficiency. Turning the barrel as efficiently as possible, getting the body in the position as efficiently as possible, and ready to go like at release. Like I hate that term, but like actually like being ready to go instantly. Getting like a cue I've always said is like getting the slack out. Like I don't want slack in my body. I don't want to feel loose, but I don't want to feel overly tight either. Like I want to feel strong and ready to go. And just being in a mode or in a position that allows me to interact with any pitch, lift it, play it, whatever I need to do in order to actually get a result I want. So this has been one of the best off seasons ever because it's all just like challenges. It's let's hit this pitch, let's hit this one, let's use this bat, like so many different things that I could just thrown at myself in order to create these moves, whether it's weighted bats, Marv balls, regular baseballs, constraints, belts, doesn't matter. Because there's no real change. It's all about just reinforcing, my current moves and making them a little bit better. Because that's like we're at the point where there isn't a lot of change. It's all about reinforcement. It's all about, until there's a substantial change that needs to be made, you just keep reinforcing what you're doing to make it, like I said, as efficient as possible. So it's been fun. I'm excited personally. Like I'm ready to get down to Florida. I go down early every year, so get in the sun. It's freezing here already. So run around. Yeah, exactly. Like run around, throw the ball, take some reps in the outfield. But yeah, I'm ready to get down there, ready to, play some baseball.
Yeah, it's interesting that it does feel like you're at that point where you talked about earlier about just trying to adjust to the adjustments. It's kind of the cat and mouse game now, where you're getting to these guys who are the same, getting close to the same talent level and same level of execution. It's all about the adjustments now. And so the last thing I want to talk to you, and we talk to you as long as you want to talk to us. It's always a blast. It's super enlightening. But I do like talking about other players, players you played against, and so forth and so on, because it's kind of interesting. Like I kept seeing Nick Morabito in the AFL, and I'm like, stole that hit from you in the ninth inning in game 2. I'm like, oh God, what a ridiculous catch that was. But
yeah, great catch.
And you talking earlier about getting tired of playing. I can only imagine how tiring it must be to see. It's tiring enough to watch, because we see the Cleveland affiliates in high A, double A, and triple A. I don't need to see Jonah Avicula ever again.
Yeah, exactly.
The
greatest high A Midwest against only the Whitecaps player of all time.
Yeah.
Like literally the greatest.
But yeah, so you get that, and I assume you're going to get a ring for the Whitecaps. But you get to double A, we see guys like, I think Raj was out there before you guys were up there. He caught Yarlin Susanna early in the season, and then you guys, I don't know if you were in that game when he pitched.
He's the one that exploded my wrist. So
okay, there you go. Yeah. So it all melts together. But then like those two dudes from Somerset, is it LaGrange and Rodriguez Cruz? Like there's some legit arms in double A. I'm just kind of curious about players who stuck out to you.
Yeah, I mean, like from an arm standpoint, I mean, Trey Gibson was the best arm I saw in double A. He literally made one start and was like, all right, I'm going to triple A. It was ridiculous. The tunneling, the stuff, like it literally looked like a big leaguer. Everything was tight, everything was firm, and he could put it literally wherever he wanted it. It was impressive. Like it was one of those days where like I walked into the park and I was like, shit, I hope I get a hit today. Like I hope I get one. And hopefully he gets out of the game in 4 or 5 innings. Like he was electric. And then like you said, ERC is disgusting on Somerset. He has some of the best spin I've ever seen. Spins everything hard, does everything hard. I was more comfortable against him just because of the heater. His heater played to my bad path. So if I could just lay off spin, we're in a good spot. Really good splitter though. And then obviously you look at LaGrange. I mean, it's 102 miles an hour and he has one of the most ridiculous changeups. And same with Susanna. Like I've never seen someone that throws that hard be able to like command a changeup like that, because usually they just throw a 92-mile-an-hour sinker. This was like a real 93-mile-an-hour changeup. It was disgusting. I thought Winiger was really good on Binghamton. I thought I had the best ABs against him. I felt very comfortable. I got some really good swings off, but he had 4 legit pitches. I'm trying to think of who I don't remember who it was on Altoona, but disgusting splitter. Oh, Emmanuel Chapman, best splitter I've seen. Really good stuff. And then I've seen, I think he was on what's Baltimore?
That's
Oh,
Chesapeake.
Yeah,
Chesapeake.
Chesapeake.
Chesapeake, right?
Chesapeake, Juwan Watts Brown. Great guy, like really
Oh,
good
yeah,
dude.
yeah.
Tons of good
Oklahoma?
stuff.
Oklahoma State. He come
Yeah,
from?
yeah. OSU. He got traded from the Blue Jays. I faced him in low A.
Mm.
And then I got him when he got traded. He punched me twice on 6 pitches, but I got him back on a homer. So it checks out. It all evens out. But he has the best curveball. I'd give him the best curveball award.
Yeah, those are that's a good. Susanna, watching him playing early in the year in the first game of the season, where he was able to drop his, he was hitting 103, and then he went there and just dropped at 91, and was like, "What the fuck are you gonna do with that?"
Yeah, dude. And
Yeah.
that's what we all talked about as guys. Is like LaGrange is like the firepower. Like he has an electric heater. It's like death sinker and like kind of carry. Like it plays like carry off the sinker. But Susanna just throws fuel and it's dead straight. So that's a little more comfortable. But then he has a way better slider, like light years better slider. It is a legitimate 50-60 pitch. And he that's like he kind of commands it. And that's what I'm talking about. Like a lot of guys just kind of throw it in there. But he throws it at your back foot, and you better pray that you either foul it off or don't swing, because you're not gonna square it up. It's a really good pitch.
Yeah, and you probably will see him at the majors at some point. So, Max, thanks so much for joining us.
Quick. One last thing. Sorry, I'm monopolizing your time, but
no, you're good.
It's great hearing you talk about these other guys, but you do get to play against some guys in the Tigers org sometimes in spring, right?
Yeah.
So I'm curious if there's guys that we are not focusing on enough, or people who are nastier than we would ever imagine just for looking at the data or looking at the live footage.
Troy Watson, ridiculous. Especially after everybody saw the stuff from Tread about his command. But I got to play with him in AA too, like a couple starts. And dude, he's a great guy. Like he's a fun guy to be around. He's disgusting. And he's got that like F you. Like he's got the pitcher like mentality. I like it. I dig it. And he just wants to go bury you. Like I respect guys like that. He's got good shit. Like I would be very surprised if he's not on a big league roster. Like he's so good. Who else? I'm trying to think of like someone who got me good in this. Joe Miller owns me. Disgusting. Miller, yeah. And his velo's like ticking up too. I mean, he's like 94. He was so good in West Michigan. Yeah. So good. Shout out my guy Carlos Lecarica, legend. Change-up god. No, it was fun to play with him. Every time he came into close, we were like, shit, this one's over. 3 ground balls and it's done. Yeah. So I really liked Ellisalt. I faced him in live ABs. He was gross, and I didn't know who he was actually. Like when I first got there, like it was his first year, first spring. Could command everything, like really good stuff. Trying to think of anybody who's like new or like really under the radar.
Did you ever get Sears at all? I know you played with him there at the end
of
the year.
I got him in. I don't think I faced him this year. I think I faced him last year.
All right.
He drilled me in the elbow, which
that checks right. Out. That sounds like, right.
Yeah, sure. Checks out. But same kind of thing, dude. Like huge confidence. Like I love it, dude. His nickname's Psycho, so I mean that explains itself.
It's not hard to figure out why. Yeah, you watch him, and you're
exactly. Like you watch him pitch, it's like, dear God, what is coming at me? Jake Miller, obviously disgusting. I got him. He's good. Like, had you asked me this in the spring, I would have said Troy Melton.
Oh, there you go.
I mean, the prophecy came true. He's disgusting. Magno was gross. He was really tough left on left.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of one more like really obscure one that might be a surprise. Reliever. He just went up to high A. I think he's Rule 5 eligible too.
Moises Rodriguez?
Marco Ramirez? Yeah, Moises. Thank you. Yeah. I couldn't just say Rodriguez. Moises. Yeah. He is just high octane. Yeah. Gross. Good stuff. Command, whatever, but like 101 and some good off speed too. Like he has good offerings.
Nice. No, that's awesome, man. I appreciate that. It's just super enlightening to get somebody to hear it from somebody who plays the game at a high level, a very high level, and also can speak the game. So I like, we'll see out the field this year, and then 25 years down the line, we'll see you in the booth or wherever you want to be. So
that sounds good to me. Absolutely.
Well, Max, thanks again for the time, and congratulations on what's going on here in a few weeks, and enjoy the time before the season starts, and we'll see you out. I'm going to be down in Lakeland this year, so we'll see you down in Lakeland, and
perfect.
Yeah, continue the videos, man. Have been awesome, and keep killing it, and congratulations again, man.
Thank you. I appreciate it, guys.
Thanks so much,
All
man.
right, let's just end this here. Okay.